Welcome to Why Your Business is Invisible Online, the podcast that connects businesses online with the people they want to serve. Joining me are my two co-hosts, and here they are.
I'm Jim Filatico. When I'm not helping my clients grow their businesses online, you can find me traveling with friends and family.
Hi, I'm Kelly Biggs, and I'm the AT alien of the group. I love hanging with friends and family, and when I'm not doing that, you can find me on Peloton. I've clocked over 2,000 rides so far.
And I'm your host, John Manatas from Oakville, Ontario, Canada, with my guitar in hand, my Wi-Fi on life support, but always in tune with my clients.
You bring up another interesting point that I know we talked about this previously, but I think it's important. This whole concept of, and because I get it all the time, and I know you guys do too, I'm a referral-based business. Mine's is a referral-based business. Mm-hmm. And so I've really been thinking about that a lot lately, because in professional services, I think it's safe to say that there's an element of it that is absolutely referral-based.
Absolutely.
The challenge, though, that people run into when they say mine is a referral-based business is that then you've created for yourself this paradigm of you're sitting there waiting for your phone to ring with little to no effort on your part. You're counting on your clients to refer business. There is a way, though, that you can even use your online presence to help you with referrals. And so what I mean by that is, one, organizing and saying to yourself, okay, who are my referral-based partners? Who are they? Building your persona for referral-based partners. I had a client who, this particular client actually was he's a cool, like, IT guy, graduated computer science, I think maybe dual computer science and something with business, previously worked for one of the big four consulting agencies, super, super, super smart, and was doing some consulting around cybersecurity. He was doing well enough for himself to be in business by himself and have a pretty good salary. But he really wanted to grow in a way that was a bit more scalable. And he would have told you before we talked that he was absolutely a referral-based business. He does some work for one client, and then they likely refer him. Sometimes he was a subcontractor to some people. And so then in discovering that, we just thought of, okay, well then who would be good referral partners for you, right? And so then from that, that goes into, especially with B2B, utilizing something like LinkedIn as a must. And not LinkedIn in the way that we've seen it before, is how can you build a good referral-based business from LinkedIn? That is discovering who your buyer persona is, and then just reaching out to them, right? And having a good cadence, and at the right time, which is typically not the first time you talk to the person.
Better not be.
Had that asking for a kiss on the first date. I'm sure all of us can open LinkedIn right now and somebody telling you how they know your business, and you're like, because of my title, like what is this? But we were able to connect him with the right people and get meetings on his calendars. We weren't trying to close. Nobody's going to buy, or I guess maybe somebody will, cybersecurity services from you, because number one, it's very is incidental, right? Mm-hmm. However, if I'm a large company and I'm looking for subcontractors, right?
Mhm.
Then, and you're reaching out to me, and then, 2, 3, 4 connections down the road. And by the way, your posts are commiserate with you being a subject matter expert, then I'm going to be more inclined to have a conversation with you about at the right time. I can say, hey, John, or do you, how are you with your, or could you, what we ended up doing was not even going to the typical person that you would think he would go after. We kind of identified some companies that he had worked with before and just saying, hey, we would we would love to be a vendor. Do you, and we knew that this person wasn't the right person, but could what I'm trying to do, you're probably not even the right person to ask, which is great, because you're not asking me for anything.
Right,
so
right.
That's always the relief, right?
Mm-hmm.
But could you, who in your company makes decisions about suppliers or approved vendors? And then we were able to get those introductions, and now he can truly say he's a referral-based business,
right?
Because we've added that. So my whole point is
LinkedIn,
LinkedIn. And for people who say they are a referral-based business, what are you doing to make that more proactive than it has to feel, right?
Yeah, it's not always a conversation face to face with somebody, because you assume that when somebody says, "Oh, I'm a referral-based business," it always has to be a live person talking to you. Not necessarily online, like you just described with LinkedIn. You could still have a referral-based type conversation using online tools like LinkedIn. So it's a great point. Yeah, I completely agree with that.
There's a lot of referral-based businesses that they claim are spending an awful lot of money on paid ads.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Right.
they may get referrals, but that's not measurable. That's not, you don't know for sure that when the next one's coming. So they spend a lot of money on paid ads.
Yeah, you need multiple
to fill in, right? To kind of smooth out the business.
Yes, exactly.
And for brand awareness, especially, like the number one, as you say that, Jim, the number one that comes to my mind is personal injury attorneys, right?
You spend so much money.
Yeah. But you could say, I could say, I get most of my business from referrals. I'm sure they do get a lot of it, but also it's that thought process of, but your brand better look right when you get that referral.
Yeah, when you're doing TV ads and billboards and spending tens of thousands of dollars, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars on paid ads. Yeah, that's a lot. It's a lot of money for referrals.
That's a good topic. We should expand on that next session, because I think I think we all agree referrals can come in a number of different ways, and we've also, I think, learned that with social media, you're not going to just stick, I only do Facebook. You have to use them all where it makes sense. If as long as you can tie your target to that social
audience,
platform. Yeah. But anyway, we'll talk about referrals next time. And that wraps up another episode. My name is John.
This is Jim.
And I'm Kelly. Thanks for joining. Hey, don't forget to subscribe.
Thank you for tuning in to Why Your Business is Invisible Online. If you enjoyed today's episode, please do us a favor and subscribe and follow us on Spotify and Apple. Be sure to share it with other business owners who might find it helpful. If you want to dig deeper, contact us at ruinvisibleonline.com. That's capital letter R, capital letter U, followed by invisibleonline.com. Or message us on our LinkedIn business profile with the same title, Are You Invisible Online? The information shared in this podcast is for educational purposes only and should not be considered professional advice. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the hosts and guests and may or may not reflect the official policy or position of WSI Corporate. Always consult a qualified digital marketing expert before making significant changes to your online strategy. Until next time, keep connecting with the people who matter most to your business and join us for our next episode.